Hello everyone, I'm Samantha, and today is another Bowspring breakdown. Today we're going to be working on Earth Pose, which is the general standing pose in the Bowspring alignment. And it's a good thing to practice because Earth Pose will keep you really steady and grounded. You'll be able to connect with the earth, have more balance, and really feel more stability in the way that you stand, whether you're at work, whether you're waiting in line, or anywhere throughout the day. You're going to be activating and grounding at the same time. So first, I'll share with you the difference between Earth Pose and Mountain Pose. So if you've practiced regular yoga before, the traditional alignment, the posture is called Tadasana or Mountain Pose, which is just standing straight up, erect. You've got your feet are stacked under your knees, your hips, your ribs, and your head. Everything's in a straight line, and you pull your shoulder blades down and back. The arms are straight, and it's a very straight up and down pose. Bowspring alignment is not so straight up and down. There's a spring to it and a little bit of engagement everywhere at the same time. So what I like to think of is if you were on a boat that was rocking, which one would you rather be in? Would you rather be in Tadasana or Mountain Pose where you're locked up and down, or Earth Pose where you're springy and engaged? And the answer to that is probably Earth Pose because you're more grounded, less likely to fall. That's why this is a good posture that you can use while you're in a Bowspring class and in everyday life. So, to start in Earth Pose, first you got to have your feet right. So, the inner edges of the foot are going to be parallel with each other. And I'll tell you what, and most people, they think that their feet are parallel, but they're not really. Most people have a little bit or a lot of an external rotation going on in their upper thighs, which travels to their feet as well. So it helps. You can look down and check. And it's going to feel weird because you're not used to that, but that's okay. And then we really want to think about our feet here, the paw, which is the ball of the foot and the toes. And we want primarily the weight to be in the paw of the foot. The heel touches down for sure, but there's a lightness there. The heel lightly touches in the center of the heel. And it's a drawing together, a narrowing of the paw, but a severe softening of the toes. The toes are touching the floor and they're curled down, all right? You'll think about the foot doing something called a dig. So it's digging into the floor. It's like it's pushing down and forward. And that dig action, if you saw me from the side, actually, will push the hips back. So the whole leg system so far, we've got equal feet. We've got a lightness in the heels. We've got the knees pushing forward, the ankles are flexed, and the groins get deep as the tailbone lifts up into a anterior rotation. So that's a pelvic tilt forward, all right? None of that can be done, mind you, without the activation and the filling of radiant heart. So what is radiant heart? Radiant heart is an expression of physical and a metaphysical expression of fullness, of bigness, of broadness, and of the lovingness of your own inner heart and joy. Physically, you can think about it as a circumferential broadening of the whole rib cage. All right, so first think about your ribs getting wider. You can breathe them wide, and it's the whole sides of them pressing outward. All right, 2, the ribs get deeper, so they're going forward and they're going back. We don't want to neglect the place between our shoulder blades. In Bowspring, we are not going to pull the shoulder blades down and back like Earth Pose. We're going to keep big space between the shoulder blades. We also want a lot of space in the front heart too, so keep those collarbones broad at the same time. So let's go back into our foot position here. I'm going to check my feet. Yes, they are equal. And I'll probably watch this video later on and be like, nah, my feet were off. I thought they were, but they weren't really. That's okay. That's why it's good to practice in a mirror. So it looks like they're about equal. All right. And and then I'm really going to anchor the sides of my paw, and I'll let the toe pads or my toe prints touch the floor softly. They're all touching. And then I'll bring some lightness into my heels. The ankles are flexed. The knees and the toes push forward in that dig action. And then there's an activation that goes up the back of the leg. It's a mounting upward of all the muscles on the back of the leg, and that's the drag action, the activation that lifts the muscles up, the glutes up, the butts up. All right, so pair that with your radiant heart. So it's the widening of your heart. It's the deepening, and it's the lengthening. The ribs move away from the hips and towards the sky. Pretty cool, huh? All right, we'll keep all of that. Yes, we'll keep adding on. We'll add the wing system. So the wing system is the hands, the arms, and the shoulders. And I'll get a little bit closer here to show you seed hand. So seed hand is going to be a tool that's going to help us engage the wing system. To find seed hand, we'll narrow the base of the palm, and the palm becomes quite firm and strong. Curl the fingers into a cone shape, touching the thumb to the first knuckle joint of the second finger. Squeezing the palm, letting the fingers still be soft. Now that's something to figure out on your own time. All right, and then there's like a cut under the wrist. Yeah, and that's a hollow as well. And we use that cut to help us activate the back of the arm. So do this a couple times, and you can feel maybe the back of your arm picking up an engagement when you do that. All right, that's what we want. We want the palm to inform the whole arm and the shoulder blade. All right, so we'll use that, and we'll come back. So back to where we were. The arms, we'll do that ice pick with your seed hands, all right, and have your arms forward of the body. So another difference, mountain pose, the arms are at the side. And bowspring earth pose, the arms are forward of the body, and the points of your elbows face outward. Now that doesn't mean I want a bent arm. I still want a straight arm, not locked, but straight and strong. Ice pick in the air to engage your triceps. And you can feel that whole action can lift your ribs a little bit taller. All right, let's talk about our shoulders here. So when we have that engagement in the whole arm, the arms can literally pick themselves up. They're no longer hanging down. We don't have to open up the chest more than the back to let them hang down there either. The arms can pull their own weight or help you lift your heart. So in the shoulders, when the arms are engaged, we want the shoulders to lift up and away from each other. Now, whenever I tell people that we lift our shoulders in bowspring, they go, oh, like this? No, not like that. That is a stressful movement. That is engaging and stressing out your traps, which are usually, in most people, very stressed already. But no, it's kind of a lifting from underneath. You can think about balloons in your armpits, and yeah, and then they lift and they broaden at the same time. So you're widest in the front and you're the widest in the back. And it's very different from lifting the shoulders this way, as you can tell. All right. So let's put it all together. All right, let's get my feet right. Okay, body weight in the paw. The knees energetically press forward, the tailbone rises. Radiant heart is full, radiant heart is deep, and radiant heart lifts away from the earth. All right, squeeze your seed hands, ice pick them at the wrist, lift up the back of the arms to lift your whole back. Good, and now the head and the neck. So the head lifts up to the highest. The top of your teeth and your eyes are at the level of the horizon, or you can think level with the floor, but just lift it. You lift the roof of your mouth as well. And there's an inward curve in the back of the neck, which if you don't know if that's there or not, you can reach back and touch it, or you can look at a mirror and try it. That's another one where, for me, I think that I'm doing it, and then I'll see a picture or video later, and my neck is still flat. So that's something I still need to work on. So let's do it together. All right, body weight in the paw, radiant heart full, knees forward, hips back, seat, hands engaged. Engage the whole straight, long arm. Arms lift the rib cage and the armpits lift and float. The head lifts, the throat is open, and the eyes level with the horizon. Earth pose. And as you can see, it's quite a lot to think about. And as you're thinking about that, it's hard to think about a lot of other things. You've got to be in the present moment to do this pose. And it's really cool. Always some refinement to happen and to go on, even in something that looks so simple. Thank you for watching, you all, and I hope you have a very, very good day. Namaste.